That's where I went tonight. RA stands for radium. I went to see The Half-Life of Marie Curie. And there's someone I know from this group, the Redlands Theater, Footlighters Theater Group. And I also had her as an acting teacher. Susie Pierce, that's this one up here. And then the one that played Marie Curie was Jessica Neufeld. Both of them were excellent, excellent. And, I mean, you could totally get lost in the story, which I did. You know, why go to something unless you can totally get lost in it? And I always said to other people, you know, they're worried about one thing or another. I said, if the acting's good enough, they're not going to notice that. And it was. It was very good. And then they had some treats afterwards. I had this much champagne. And I brought these things home because it was late and I had my teeth in. And I don't like eating with them in at all because you can't taste anything unless it hits the roof of your mouth. So, anyway, look who's here. Yeah, he was waiting for me. So, I put up the shade darkening interim curtains and the flowered curtains, which are these down here. I took down so I could wash them. You wouldn't believe the cat hair on the bottom of those curtains where he sits in the window all the time. It was loaded with cat hair. So I brushed that all off, and then I took sticky tape and got the rest of it off, and I'm going to wash them and iron them, hang them up tomorrow. But in the morning I have a Zoom meeting. Jim Meskimen has a Zoom meeting, actually. He's a voiceover. He did the voice of Colonel Sanders on the Kentucky Fried Chicken commercials. He's an impressionist. He does a lot of different voices. He puts on his own show sometimes down in L.A. I forget the name of the area. It's kind of North L.A. I can't remember the name of the area. His mom was played Mrs. Cunningham on Happy Days, Marion Ross. That's his mom. She's 95, I think, this year. And he's a nice guy. And he recognizes me. If he sees me, he may not remember my name, but he'll recognize me. We get half a dozen people that are voiceovers or actors of some sort or whatever come on this Zoom call and we talk about things. And he tells what it's like to be on a TV series or a small series. Sometimes he will tell you what an actor is expected to do and all that. He's on YouTube as well. Jim Meskimen. So that's in the morning. In the afternoon, just stuff around here as usual. Today I was really tired about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And so tired that I was falling asleep, sitting up. So I went to bed and I slept for 2 hours. I wanted to sleep longer, but I didn't. I got up and did a few things. And I made a cup of coffee and soaked some of those brownies, which are like hard as a rock. It's kind of like hockey puck hard. And they were soaked long enough in the coffee I could kind of chew them. To have a stove and oven. I mean, people that have whatever they have and they think, yeah, so I don't have one. But to have one would be really nice. To have room to have a table would be nice. And then I told Brian, I said, I've been thinking about that house that you guys looked at. I said, that's really nice. It would really be nice. I'd have room for a table. And he'd say, oh, God. That's why I didn't want to tell you. You start thinking about all that. Apparently Ashley thinks about it a lot, too. It's a lot more money. It's in a busy area. But it's close to everything. I don't know how noisy it would be at night, or the highway's not that far away, and of course we're a quarter mile from the highway here too. I don't know. Anyway, Spencer had about 20 pounds of candy for his haul last night. Holy schmoly. He was real proud of it too. He guarded it. We piled it up on the floor to look at it. And he's like eyeballing everything. He even got a cute little tiny rubber ducky that squeaks. He had a little silver helmet on. You put and go squeaking. And some guy up the street, I don't know which house, Brian knows, but gave full-size candy bars. Full-size Snicker and a full-size Hershey bar. And they were bussing kids in. I mean, carloads of people would come in this neighborhood. Whether they have anything at their own neighborhood, or they just know that this is a good place to get candy. There were tons of kids. One guy works for, I think he works for some kind of place that makes scenery. He had a castle put up in front of his house with lumber, sets. And he had headless horsemen, and he had a stagecoach, or a hearse pulled by a skeleton horse, and there was a skeleton driver with a top hat and a skeleton body inside the hearse, and oh my God, statues and Medusa heads and all kinds of stuff. Some of these people must spend thousands of dollars on that. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been poor so long, or I don't think that spending that kind of money is, that if I had that kind of money, I would do other things with it. Anyway, the play was very good. It dealt with the time period of 1913 to 1923 or something like that. It was Madame Curie and her friend. And Madame Curie was slowly dying from the radium poisoning, and her friend was there to help her out. Madame Curie took up with Pierre, who was the woman's husband. They ended up getting a divorce because of it. And then Pierre wrote Madame Curie saying he didn't want to, but he has to get a divorce because some other girl he got knocked up. So Madame Curie had a really hard life. And she was very brilliant, and she got 2 Nobel Prizes. But the good old boys club of men in those days didn't want women to be recognized for anything. Women had to know their place and all that. And it dealt a little with, if you were good at this, be good at it. If you're a woman, if you're whatever, and little bits and pieces of women's strength and women's suffrage and stuff, and throughout the play. It was very, very, very good. And no, we are not going back. If for some reason the orange sphincter makes it to the White House on Tuesday, there's going to be a lot of opposition from women, I can tell you that. Unless they're the dumb women that love Trump, how it is beyond me. Unless they just love being told what to do. There are people that like being told what to do. It's a lot easier to be told what to do than to do any thinking. I prefer to think. Thank you very much. That's enough of my politics for the night. I'm going to try to figure out if I can put the Halloween film together. Maybe that'll be up tomorrow. I might go by the store and get some more sunflower seeds. Get important stuff stocked up before Tuesday, because who knows what's going to happen. Yeah. Hopefully nothing. Maybe the orange moose knuckle will have a heart attack or something. Or, I don't know. He's too rotten to die. Those kind of people usually hang on. There I am, just blithering away. Oh my. It's a long video, I'm sorry. Gonna go now. Pet the kitty a whole lot. Drink some liquid because my throat, the sinus drainage is nasty. It's the color of Dijon mustard. Ooh. Thank you. You're welcome. Upward and onward.